Adelaide. No, we'll do Port Adelaide first, because this is a team that just doesn't look a shadow of what we've come to know and admire and took them so far last season.
Has it been your worst loss so far at the club?
Yeah, it was disappointing.
And Port Adelaide have lost what a lot of people thought was unlosable.
Massive challenges ahead for Port Adelaide. They're one of the high fancies going into the season. They've got real issues.
And boy, would be some questions asked tonight of Ken Hinkley and the Port Adelaide Footy Club. Perhaps Ken's darkest days since coming here.
Let's be honest, it's been a pretty good time for a couple of years, and everything's been quite positive about what Port Adelaide have been able to do. Well, right now, Port Adelaide are not delivering on the main ingredient, and that's playing team footy.
I reckon Port came up here today almost like it was a formality. They were going to just run out, be an arm wrestle for a quarter and a half. They'd eventually get on top and roll away.
I haven't felt like this since GWS 2012.
A lack of work rate, you know, and a willingness to compete for the four quarters, which we've been showing consistently. We can hide from it if we like, but tonight there's nowhere to hide.
They are now becoming the hunted Port Adelaide, and they're not coping with it. There'll be some readjustment. They are a good side, Hutto, but they need to turn it around pretty quickly.
Oh, and I think maybe we hope we're going to be a good team. You know, don't worry about us being a top 4 or top 8 team. Just worry about us being a team for a start. And that's what's happened. We've lost focus on what's important, and what's important is being a good team.
Where was the accountability? Lack of accountability. They're standing at a stoppage with nobody near them, mate. Unacceptable.
I think the biggest thing Port are lacking is Phil Walsh, and I'm pretty sure you'd agree with me as well. I think the Crows are flying now that we've got the best tactician in the league. That's what it comes down to.
They pride themselves on their fitness. They never give up. We're hearing that all the time, and yet they're getting overrun now.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it fat heads?
So I'm living in hope too, a little bit with the players. I'm hoping they're going to start to deliver on what we've typically delivered on the first 2 and a bit years together. And you know, right now we're at the point where we haven't been before, and we need to go back and soul search a little and find out what some answers might be. And then, you know, we'll have to start to work our way back. It won't just charge back. We've got to work our way back.
Some plain speaking from Ken Hinkley. I sat there last night and I watched and I thought the word that just kept, they were just ordinary. And what Port Adelaide has been at no stage under Ken Hinkley has been ordinary. They seem to have lost nearly every aspect of their game, but particularly the press. So they're playing in a different part of the ground to where they have been previously. And I don't know, it's not up to me to know where it is, but the willingness to engage is clearly something that Hinkley, he speaks reasonably similarly publicly as he does privately. And this is a willingness right now.
People have been talking about Port Adelaide for about 4 weeks now with the abnormality with their inside 50 count. What's going on? And Ken Hinkley put it on the agenda 2 weeks ago. This is not intentional. And everyone, I thought he was joking. And I looked at the performance on the weekend. Yeah, they were ordinary. But if you were coaching, say you had to come up and play Port Adelaide, what would you think the necessary things you have to do is to really put pressure on them? And to see that Mitch Robinson running down from behind, the pressure on Saturday night, on Sunday from Brisbane was elite. It was unbelievable. They were just all over them. And at the moment, Port aren't helping each other. They're not coping with it. Maybe they thought it was just going to happen this year.
They'll get it back. But
so.
gee, they'll have to work hard to do it.
Football doesn't take any prisoners, isn't it? You think you're good enough? No worries. You get ahead of yourself, it'll rip you. It'll just drag you straight back.
Their last quarter mystique is gone as well.
Oh,
that is shot to ribbons.